Hey guys, welcome back to the course. In the last video, we've seen that how to design this cart page. As you can see that currently we have some static data. Okay. Now we have also a home page which we have seen. Now when we click on any product, it will open the product details page, and we can select the size and the color. And when we click on add to cart, nothing happening. But if we went to the add to cart, it is looking like this. So basically, in this video, we are going to make this all the functionality workable. So let's get started. First of all, what am I gonna do? Whenever user clicking on this product details page, we were waiting there, right? Now what I'm trying to do basically, uh, what I'm trying to do that if user we are going to store the data in async storage. Okay, and after that we are going to have a context provider and use context hooks. So there we gonna store the data. Perfect. Now let's create a quickly context. So in the source directory, I'm going to create another folder called context and I'm going to create a called one context called cart context. Okay, so how do we create a cart context? Basically, let me clarify you quickly. So first of all, we have to do like this: const cart context is equal to create context. Okay, and we have to import it. After that, we have to also export this because we need in future. After that, we're gonna have a again export const. We're gonna have a const cart provider. Okay, here we get the children, whatever the children, and after that, if we scroll down. Okay, now here what we have to do, we're gonna have some state whatever we want to do, like basically const cards, set cards, and use state. We're gonna have a value as a empty data. Perfect. After that, we are having some value like const value is equal to an object where we having a cards, where we are returning just cards. After that, here, so basically here we are returning a component called a cart context dot provider. Okay, and like this. Okay, and let me close this as well, cart context. So this is gonna be cart context. Okay, not provider, and we have to close it. So to let's close it as well. Okay, here what we have to do, here we have to pass the children like this. Okay, and after that here we have to pass a props as a value as well. Perfect. Now this is how we have to pass. Now let's suppose if I make the currently cart items value 1 2 3. Okay, and you can see that this is causing some could not find cart context. Did you mean okay? So what I make is typo. I make a typo like the cart context would be like this usually, which I prefer. Now as you can see that what I just created, I created a const create context, export const cart context is equal to create context. After that I created a cart provider where we are getting a children, and inside the cart state we have initially defined a 1 2 3. Okay, and what we are returning a cart context dot provider. We had passed the value is a this value, and we are having a children. Okay, now after that what we have to do, we have to go inside the root app component, and here I have to basically wrap the card provider. And let me see, let's go to the card context. We are have to export also this card provider. Okay, and we have to wrap the app root app component with the card provider. Okay, and like this. Perfect. Awesome. Now after that we are good to go to use this context. Let me show you example thoroughly. So let's suppose I am on the bottom tab navigation, on this tab navigation. Okay, now I want to show the here basically the content, the number of items count on the bottom. Okay, so let's go to this cart screen on the cart section, and let me do like this. Instead of doing like this, I'm going to do like this. I'm returning a component like this, okay, and after that let's do like this const cart context, not cart context. Basically we can do like this. We have to import the use context hooks. Here what we have to do, where we have to pass cart context. Okay, and if you do just just structure the value, basically we are getting a value, so we can have a value, but I'm going to destructure the cart as well quickly. And if I show you the console what we are getting inside the cart, so you can see that currently we are getting a cart as undefined, and that's too weird. So let me add a variable called const value. Okay, and I'm going to console the value, and let's check it out what we are getting. So you can see that we are getting 1 2 3, right? So the right key will be cards. Okay, now after getting the cards, we have to show the count. Okay, so we're gonna have like this. So basically what I'm trying to do, guys, you can see that here we are showing the number of counts, 1 2 3 whatever, right? So basically I'm going to create a view. Okay, and inside that view we gonna have a view, and inside that we gonna have a text and the count cards dot length. Okay, now you can see that currently it's showing 3 because we have inside the cards provider I passed only 3 items. If I make it 2, so you can see that it become 2, I think. Yeah, it become 2. Okay, now let's go to the app.jsx. So we have to create something like this kind of UI. Okay, so let's quickly create it. So we're gonna have a view. Inside that we're gonna have a style. I'm going to style this. Okay, and we're gonna have a height as a basically 14, and the width will be gonna be 14, and border radius gonna be 7 to make it circle, and background color will be this color, whatever we are getting color, and even check it out, the color become red. Okay, now after that we have to make justify content center, align item center, align item center. Okay, now you can see that it is on the bottom, but I want that it should be on the top of this cart icon. So that's how to achieve that we have to add position property. I'm going to apply position relative, and for this view I'm going to apply position absolute. Position absolute, from the top I'm going to make it 0, and from the right I'm going to make it 0. So if I make it top right 0, left right 0, so it is looking like this. Okay, but it should be from the right it's gonna be 10. If I make it 10, okay, not too good, so it should be some -5. I make it -5. Okay, awesome. -10, -10, not 510. So I make it -10. Okay, and the right direction will be -5 as well. -5, I make it -5. Something looking better, and let's increase the size well as well. So the font size gonna be this, for this it's almost 10 pixel. Okay, so it's gonna be 10, and the color which I want is called the color which they have passed. Sorry, font color, my bad. Color will all, we have to just pass color property as a white, I think. Yeah, so you can see that we are getting the this card looking this amazing. Okay, we have to also add a font weight as 500. If I make it 500, awesome. Now nice looking. So you can see that whatever we had item, that is gonna throw the count. Perfect. So let's summarize this stuff quickly what we had done here. So first of all, I created one context by using inside the I created one folder called context. Inside that I created a card context using the create context. After that I created one card provider, and inside that we are getting the children, and we are having some, we're defining some state like const set cost, set cards, and we have like 1 2, we are having a value 1, we are having a value object. Inside that we are passing these cards, and after that we are returning a component card context got provided. We are passing this value key on this value props, and we are just returning the children as well. Okay, Now we went to the home app.jsx. Inside the this inside this cart we are using the use context hooks. Here we are getting the cards, okay, and having a MUI icons, and we have applied positional relative, and another we have created another div for this icon, this round circle. By applying the position absolute, we are giving top, from the top -10, from the right -5, so it is looking like this, and we are just rendering the card sort length. Perfect. Now after that, what we are supposed to do, basically we go to the home screen, we click on there, okay. Now whenever user click on add to cart, it will get added to the this cart context, okay. So we have to create one function called we have to create one function called const handle, okay. We have to create a function called add to cart, okay, and we will get the item whatever the user want to add, okay. So we are going to do like this: if that item exists, const item exists, item exists. If item exists, so what we have to do, first of all, we have to check that cards dot find index, and we get the item, okay. We have get the uh, cart, okay. Here we have to check that cart dot id is equal to product, sorry, my item dot id. If item dot id, if it's exist, so it's gonna return some id, but if doesn't exist, if item not exist, so it's gonna returning a -1, okay. So basically what is happening now, let's suppose if item exists, so it will return an interest, like it could be 0, 0, 1, whatever, but if doesn't exist, so it's gonna returning a -1, okay. So what we are at that point of view do, we are going to update the set cards with a set card state with the by spreading the existing cards, okay, and adding an item adding a new item, okay. Now if I show you thoroughly quickly, let me show you guys. So I'm just passing this state here, add to cart, okay, and let me call this function inside product details screen, okay. And after that, let's go to the product details screen. This is the product details screen. Here we are having a button add to cart. So on press we are having on press event, and we have to call handle add to cart, and I am passing the item, okay. I'm the passing the item, and let's create one function quickly here. Const handle add to cart. Here we get the item, okay, and let's use that. Let's get that function. To get this function, what we have to type, we have to write an destructor the object, use context, and we have to pass cart context like this. Here we get the property, here we get the function called add to cart, okay. So let's part the add to cart function, and inside that what we supposed to do, we have to just pass that item, okay. Now as you can see that, okay, this is okay, perfect. If we click on add to cart, you can see that the item get increased by 1, okay. It means that item get added to the cart, okay. Now after adding to the cart, let's see. So whenever the user added the cart, we have to navigate to the const, we have to navigate the user to the cart screen. To navigate that, we're gonna have a const navigation, use navigation, okay, and we have to just navigate that. So let's navigate quickly, navigation dot navigate to cart screen, okay. Now again I'm going back to the home screen, and I'm going to select the size and the color, okay. There's one more thing which I just want to add, like before adding this item to the this adding the card, we have to item dot size will become selected size. We are adding a property as well, selected size, and item dot color will become selected color, okay. Now if I again click, if I just reload this, so there is one cache that we are using use context hooks. We are not storing the data on async storage, so whenever we reload the app, the state get lost, right? This is the one thing which I just letting you know. If let's click on jacket, I click on add to cart, and it's added to the cart, okay. Now let's go to the cart screen. Okay, here what we have to do basically, here we have to read the data. So I'm going to read the data from like this, use context, and we have to pass the cart context, not cart context. Okay, we get the cards. Perfect. Now after that, we have to pass this. It's instead of 1 2 3 4 5 5, we have to pass cards. Okay, so as you can see that we are getting this only one item because only one item in the cart. Let's go to the card. Here what we are going to do, here we get the item. Okay, the place of uh, jacket jeans, we have to write item dot title, item dot uh, item dot title. Okay, as you can see that, and we are having another uh, key as well, item dot price as well. Okay, and here we're gonna have item dot size, item dot size. Okay, and what else we have, and the color is also gonna be size. Okay, size circle, we have a size circle as well. So you can see that this is not okay. Size the circle is here, background color. So let's go back, and what we are doing here, we're gonna having like this, and we have to pass like this. Background color will gonna be at the place of this static color. I'm gonna do uh, item dot item dot item dot color. Okay, so check it out that on the card not basically product details screen. So we are setting the size and the color. Okay, and let's go back to the home again. Okay, this home component, and I'm going to choose winter code. The color gonna be this color, the size will be action, and let's check it out. Still it's not showing that item. Okay, let me do it again. Green, add to cart. Now you can see that we are having a green color here. Okay, but the catch is that we are getting the same object right now as well. So why is happening this weird thing? So item dot, okay, perfect. So I was doing mistake, like I am not replacing the image. So let me replace that image as well. I go back, and let me select this another cloth, the pink one. The size will be excel. This add to cart. Okay, basically let me reload this thoroughly, and we're gonna have this add to cart. As you can see, this is working, and we are getting the size as well, 29. Perfect. Now what I'm gonna do basically, I have to install the async storage as well, because whenever we are reloading that, the state get lost. Okay, so to handle that stuff, we have to install an async storage. So let's install the async storage. So we have to type npm I async storage, react native async storage. Okay, just open this, or you can open this another pages. Anyway, so we have to just copy this command, react native async storage, and just install this package quickly. Okay, so meanwhile if it's installing this package, so let's understand the cart context in a well better manner as well. So in the cart context, we whenever we are adding items, first of all we have to add item to the async storage as well. So what we have to do here, async storage dot set item. Okay, we are setting an item, and we're gonna having a cart into the key is equal to carts, and the item which I'm setting that is gonna be like this. Basically I'm gonna create one variable const new cart items, gonna be this, and I'm setting like this json dot stringify cart items, new cart items, and setting that state as well here. And we have to use await method because async storage are time consuming. Async storage, my bad. Let me reload this to get this snippet quickly. So if you see the example here, okay, so we have to import async storage from the React Native async storage slash async storage. Now you can see that we have to make this function async as well because we are using await. Okay, and let me reload this, and we are getting some error that uh, async storage. If I do like this, okay, my bad. Let me just do Google. Async storage, not this. I think React Native uh, async storage. Okay, there's one page which I use preferably. So let me quickly find it out. Yeah, I think this one, React Native async storage beta page. So we have to, okay, you can see that we have to import the async storage like this. So I was doing some mistake, maybe that's why. Again, we are getting error that import transformation async storage has already been declared. Oh my bad. So I've already imported that. Again, why I'm importing that. My bad. Okay. Now you can see that we are having a. Let me reload this quickly. So whenever we are calling a function add to cart, we are setting that item into the async storage, right? So if I okay, so before that there is one more thing that uh, we are having to do. So like uh, we are having a one use effect hook. Okay, so let me create a one use effect hook quickly. Okay, so we are going to create one function called const load cart items. We're gonna have an async function. Okay, and after that we're gonna have a const await. Okay, and async storage dot get item, sorry, set item. You can see that this is our set item. We are gonna have a get item. Okay, this is our get item, and we have to pass a key called cards. Okay, we get the cards. After that, if we check that if cards, so I'm going to replace with late. If cards, so what I'm gonna do, if cards is equal to cards is there, then if cards is there, so what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do just pass the data. Okay, cards, I'm going to pass the data, otherwise it's gonna be an empty array. Okay, and after that I'm setting this set cards the cards state. Okay, now you can see that if I reload this, currently inside the cards we doesn't have any data. Now let's go to the home component. Let's add this jacket. The size will be XL and the color will be this blue. And if I click on add to card, it is added to the card and the count become 1. If I reload this, it will still process the data because we are using now async storage. Now you can see that it gets removed from the UI. Why? Let me understand this quickly. So we are having like this cards. Okay, so we are not getting we are having a 0 after reloading that because we are not calling this function on the use effect. So let me call this function on the use effect. Now you can see that we are getting the data. Awesome, perfect. So what we had done quickly, let me summarize that. I had created one function called load card items. So we are just getting the items from the cards. Okay, using async storage, and we are checking that if exists, then pass the data and set the data into the this state. And whenever user click on add to card, we are checking that if item is not exist, then create a new card items array, set that data to the async storage, and set cards data with the new card items data. Okay, now let's go to the home screen again. If I click on this winter sorts, and let me add a L red size add to card. Okay, we are getting the data like this. Okay, now let's create a function to do the total sum as well. Okay, so how we can that const total sum is equal to, okay, we're gonna have like this. Okay, so basically that's what gonna do, total sum is equal to we're gonna have a one state called const total price set set total price, and by default in the use state gonna be value as a 0. Okay, and let's calculate the total price. So we're gonna use carts dot reduce method. Okay, we get the amount, we get the item, we get the amount and we get the item. Here what we have to do, here we have to do amount plus item dot price, item dot price, and the next parameter will be 0. And let me console the total sum as well to get the total sum. Okay, and here we have to pass the cards. Okay, and after that we have to set total price will be total sum. Okay, now when we have to call this total sum function, we have to call this total sum function whenever we are loading the items to the cart, like this carts. So if I check this out, so we are getting what we are getting 109 and perfect, it's working. Okay, now whenever we are adding add to carts, at that point of time we have to call this function as well by passing this data new my bad, by passing this new cart items key. Okay, let me reload this, and we are passing carts, and let's pass the another property called total price as well. Okay, so let's go to the cart screen, and here we have to read cart total price as well, and at the place of 119, so we have to make it is you know something like that. Let me make this dynamically total price. Okay, shipping will be 0 for now, the grand total become this amount. Okay, now you can see that currently we are having 109. Let's add one more item and let's check it out what the price gonna be. So I need this wool sweater, this color, this size, add to cart. Now it's become 149. Awesome. So this is how we create a checkout cart calculation, all the things. Now what I'm going to do, basically I'm going to create this functionality. Whenever user click on delete functionality, the item get deleted from the cart as well as from the UI. To achieve that, let's create a function, another function called const uh, delete item from cart. Okay, and we are getting async, we are getting the item. Okay, we are getting an item, and after that what app is supposed to do, const new items will gonna be like this, uh, carts dot filter. Here we get the cart, and we have to check that cart dot id is not equal to item dot id. Okay, so at that point of time what we have to do, set carts is equal to new items. Okay, and also we have to update with async storage as well, async storage dot set item. The key gonna be carts and the new array, new items. Okay, let's replace with the new items. Okay, perfect. Now there's one thing which we have to remember, that we have to use always await before the async. Okay, now after that we have to also calculate the total sum, because we have the value get reflected. Okay, now let's click on this delete item for. So let's understand first what we're getting, that we are getting an object, we are checking that, we are filtering that object by, if card id doesn't exist, then remove that object, like give me that array which doesn't have this id exist. After that, setting the storage into the card, and we are updating this card state with the new card items state, and we are calculating the total sum for this object. Okay, now let's pass this function delete item from cart. Okay, let's go to the cart screen, let's call this, get this function from here. Okay, and where is the trash icon? The trash icon is, I think, in the child product card. So let's go there, and here we have, where we have to do like this. Basically we are getting the item like this. we have to write cart and the item which we are passing, we have to pass the item as well like this, and we have to pass delete. Okay, so we have to pass the function name, any function name like delete from cart, and the value is delete from cart, and the value is this delete item from cart. Okay, I'm going to name is delete item from cart. Okay, now let's go to the cart. We get the delete item from cart. Okay, and we're gonna have a delete icon, this trash icon. Let me add a touchable opacity, and here we have to pass this trash icon. Okay, and we're gonna have on page event here as well. Okay, and after that we're gonna have a calling this function delete from item to the cart, and let's click pass the item. Okay, now if I click on any item, let's click on wool sweater, so the value key cards is not okay, so we are getting some error. The value key cards is not string. This can lead to the unexpected behavior. Consider stringify this object. Okay, so we are getting this error, and basically the mistake which I had done, that we are not stringify this value. So let me stringify that value as well. Okay, now if I reload this, and now if I delete this wool sweater, you can see that the item get deleted and the price become 109. If I delete this again, and now the price become 49. Perfect. So this is how we can do this all the stuff like CRUD on this. Let's go to the home screen. Now whenever we are reloading that, it by default it's opening the cart screen, right? So let's fix that as well. So let's go to the app.jsx. We have passed the initial router name as a cart screen, so I'm going to remove this cart screen, and now if I reload this, so by initial router name gonna be home stack. Okay, now if I click on this winter sorts, it opens this page. Now you can see that we are getting error, each child list should have a unique key, right? So let's fix that as well. So I'm going to the home screen. Here we are having a flat list, right? So here inside here we have to pass one property called key extractor. We get the item and we have to pass the item dot id. Now if I reload this, now we are not getting error, right? If I click on this, now here we are getting error on the product details page. So what we have to do, whatever place we are using map, so like here we are using map at two place, so we have to do like this. We have to get the index and we have to pass the key like this index. Same for another map where we are using another map, so here we get the index. Okay, and we have to pass the key like this index. And if I reload this, let me reload this thoroughly. If I reload this, it's looking like this. If I click on